Hello YouTubers, Millennium back with a review, vlog, or an unboxing. Please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you all enjoy the video.
Hello YouTubers, this is Millennium, and here's the first day of Ryuki Week! Yeah, every day of Ryuki Week I'm going to release 2 reviews based on the toys that I got from Redispower. Again, thank you, dude. Anywho, for the first part of the first day of Ryuki Week, good lord, that one was a mouthful. We got a little tiny Ryuki figure and the R&M EX Blank figure. Now, let's start with the tiny Ryuki first, because there's something weird going on with this one. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, I had to do the all-important art of scooching forward so I can reach the box. Now, let's take a look at the box first, because that's how I roll. Obviously, right here's where the figure we're going. Right here's his accessory. It says Kamen Rider Ryuki action figure. Okay. And then something at the top of the box was kind of weirding me out. You see that logo? Well, you can't really see it for sure, but that's Banpresto. That's the people that made the Power Rangers video game. The first one in the Sega Genesis. I didn't know they made action figures too. That's weird, because there are only 4 figures in this line. Yeah, only 4. Knight, Ryuki, Zolda, and Oja. That's it. Huh, guessing this line must have failed. Anywho, let's take a look at the tiny Ryuki. Now, for this figure's credit, it actually has very nice detailing. You got the lines for Ryuki's helmet all painted well, very nicely. Also, his advent deck is, well, the symbol for the advent deck is painted on nicely. But no other painted details on this thing have been put on so far, which is a crying shame. This is actually kind of good. And the drag visor is painted very well. That's not saying much, but it is. Okay, articulation-wise. The articulation for this thing is probably the lowest of low. Even lower than the American Dragonite figures. And those guys had decent articulation. Articulation for this guy, very easy. Legs go forward, very far, back a little bit, or back very far. No knees at all. 360 shoulders. Ball jointed elbow, so it can, if you fudge it a bit, probably a double joint. And the head is on a swivel joint. That's it. And for the figure's only accessory, you have to rip his arm off, basically, and replace it with Strike Vent, which is the only weapon this guy comes with. And it's also very nicely detailed. I like it. And so the way you gotta do this is I'm a little frightened to do this because it feels like very soft plastic, and I could probably break the... Yeah, it's probably showing stress marks right now. But it's very hard to get this weapon into his arm. But once you do it, it looks okay. And also for the fact that this guy cannot stand on 2 front feet. You gotta bend his back a little bit in order for it to stand perfectly. And even then, it's not doing so well. Oh, just stay there, you tiny Ryuki. Anywho, let's take a look at the box for the R&M EX Blank Ryuki. Now, this is very nice. I mean, shattered mirror effect all along the top of the box here, with R&M EX Blank Ryuki right here. And Kamen Rider Ryuki in silver or gray, I guess. Side of the box, shattered mirror, Ryuki logo, Blank Ryuki, R&M EX, blah blah blah. Same thing on the other side. shows what it comes with. Blank Ryuki with a sword, little drag visor-like thing, and Knight just basically telling him you can't fight because of your current form. Kind of true. So, sorry, I'm still fighting that cough. Anywho, let's take a look at the Blank Ryuki figure. And it's actually very nice. I think it was built on the same kind of mold as the Shocha Kenshin versions. And, probably so when I take Blank Ryuki and do a size comparison of him with the normal Ryuki. As you can see, they're almost about the same height. Oh, and Ryuki will probably be reviewed at day 2, which is Monday. Anywho. How's his detailing? Well, it is actually very nice, especially for Blank Ryuki. His advent deck isn't painted because it's a blank deck. What do you expect? His armor's detailed very nicely, much like the normal Ryuki figure. I mean, thank goodness I pulled it out so I can show it. Most of the armor detailing is pretty much spot on from the suit. Except the main color of the body is kind of a dark blue with a hint of green and a little of black. Kind of a weird color combo, but anywho, I'm not complaining. Not that much. The ports for his the red shooter, I believe, yeah, and various weapons, they're all there, which is nice. Also, screws on the back, a lot of screws. And he also comes with a drag visor, or should I say blank visor? Yeah, I'll say that. Or it's actually called ride visor on the box, so I'll just call it ride visor. Anywho, it just plugs on right there. How's his articulation? Let's see. 360 shoulder, in and outward shoulder movement, which is better than that guy over there. His elbows, bend at one joint, kind of sad, but expected. His fingers are individually articulated. Well, not individually. I mean, 2 groups of fingers are articulated, so that way you can get like some kind of weird pose thing out of that, or you could probably kind of do a rabbit or something. Anywho, his head is on a ball joint, so it can go a full 360. So it's tight. Go up, not that much. Not down a whole lot. And such. It's also got a waist swivel, so you can go full 360 with that. The legs, well, they're not on a ball joint, kinda, but they can go. Well, I guess they are on a ball joint. I just noticed that, and I just popped it off. There we go. Forward that far, back that far, bends at the knee at one joint, swivels at the top of the knee, and the foot's on a ball joint so it can pivot a whole lot. So, nice articulation for this figure, even though it is a little tinier than a Shocha Kenshin. Well, answer this in the comments down below. Was there ever a Shocha Kenshin Blank Ryuki? Let me know. I'd like to know. Okay, now, what accessories does he come with? Well, much like the show, Blank Ryuki only has 2 accessories. One is this normal blank sword, which is nice. Very nice detailing to the show. 2 red orbs on either side of the sword, and a nice blade. But then, you get a different version of the sword, where it's broken. And that's probably how I keep my Blank Ryuki posed. Like, he's in a yoga position with his sword, with his hands cupped around the sword, and it's just hilarious. And if you take a little finagling, let me get this on camera. you can actually get him to hold the sword, but it's kind of at an angle when you have it on him. And even then, it's kind of wobbly in there. Don't know how to make it more secure, but oh well. I might have a new post with this thing. Anywho, Blank Ryuki also comes with advent cards. And otherwise, these are my only advent cards aside from the advent cards in my Ryuki and Knight decks that I got in my room. We have a normal Blank Ryuki card of getting ready to fight. Another card where he's sliding the sword vent card into his ride visor. The blank sword vent, which is very nice. It would probably say Sword Vento in the drag visor. We also got the seal card, which I think he used this to protect himself from Drag Rudder the first time he encountered him. And then he proceeded to rip it up. Then the last one is probably my most favorite, the contract card. This is really cool. This is probably how all the writers in Miyuki used, and aside from Oja, who stole the other two Advent Beasts in order to make Genocider, but anywho, this is very nice, and I bet most of these weren't actually made into normal cards. Although you would have to buy the Blank Ryuki about 13 times in order to get 13 contract cards. Anywho. So overall, are these recommended if you can track them down? Well, I would say yes. The R&M EX Blank Ryuki is a worthy toy to track down. Though the tiny Ryuki, only if you're a hardcore Ryuki fan, because otherwise I cannot recommend this thing at all. But the R&M EX Blank Ryuki, definitely. So, that is part 1 of day 1 of Ryuki Week. Stay tuned for the next review coming up today, which is probably going to be the Shochak Henshin Commander Knight, as I am going as best I can by the order of advents. Which, Knight is first, Ryuki's second, probably Scissors next, then probably after that Zolda and Magnum Giga, and such like that. And then probably on the last day, I'm going to do the figures for Fem and Onyx, or Ryuga. So until then, Soundtracks Millennium, signing off, and keep watching Ryuki Week.